a production of the New Jersey Courts.
It's just something about being at the end of the road in your life and being hopeless and thinking that you would die. An addict. Yeah.
To be completely blunt with you, I probably would have died if it weren't for drug court.
I just had accepted the fact that I was a heroin addict that was gonna die on the streets of Newark. And I was okay with that. You know, death was welcoming.
The disease of addiction robbed me for everything good in my life. I worked as a school teacher for 20 years, made some really bad decisions in my life, which led me to abuse and drugs.
Around the age of 15 years old, I started using alcohol I guess I was numbing the pain of the traumatic events that had occurred in my life. I was sexually abused by 3 different family members.
One day somebody said to me, "Hey, why don't you try one of these?" And I really didn't have any interest in doing it. But because there was nothing else available to me at that particular time, I said, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. That was it. I knew that I wanted to do this and I wanted to do it a lot.
I think drug court provides structure and a real framework to make sure that they get into treatment, they remain committed to treatment, and then really do all the things they need to do to remain in recovery. You know, getting a job, help them reunite with families, housing, you know, those basic things that, you know, for most of us we take for granted. There's really 2 things. One is obviously treatment. It's a focus on treatment. And then a focus on accountability.
I get emotional when someone mentions drug court because it was a very amazing experience for me. I met the most amazing people in drug court. For the first time in a really long time, I was treated like an individual. I was treated like a human being.
Drug court was the last stop for me. It was my only hope for redemption. I would say that the biggest part of my story is a 12-step fellowship that I am still involved with. Through that fellowship, I've had what I like to call a spiritual experience, and that's how I got sober.
They said, you know, we're offering you drug court, do you want it? And I said, no, I don't want drug court. That's a setup, you know, it's a setup to get you in prison. And I was able to like get away with that for a while until they said, well, it's either prison or drug court. I completely, you know, changed my life after that. So drug court means to me now, it's a setup for a better life. It literally turned my life around, changed everything about my life. It set me up for a future.
Which people have, you know, come into drug court where, you know, they're on the brink, and sometimes it's just the level of desperation. It's like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, people are, you know, shells of what they used to be. And then gradually over time, you see them build themselves back up again. You see them smile. You know, you see them really look forward to possibilities of what life can be. And at the end of the road, you have people just filled with happiness. And so many people, when you put the addiction aside, are filled with promise, so many talents. And to see them realize that is, it just, when you're at graduation, it kind of takes your breath away. And it's very emotional.
They provided me with a roadmap on how to put the pieces of my life back together. The initials after my name are definitely a result. I went back to school while on drug court to obtain a master's degree. I went and got other credentials. I'm an LCADC, which is a licensed alcohol and drug counselor.
Things are inexplicably different now, to say the least. I have a place in Morristown that I can call my own. I have a beautiful wife. We got married last year. We have a newborn who is about 4 months old. I work in Morristown, and I am about to apply for the local 102, which is a union I've been hoping to get into for electricians.
And this is all a result of doing the next right thing in drug court, being honest, and the team, the drug court team has been amazing to me. Aria has never seen mommy high or drunk. She's my little recovery baby, and I have been a part of her life from day one. Every second I've been there for her. I have 2 sons. For the almost past 5 years, they've seen a clean, healthy mommy, and they're so proud. My son said to me, "Mom, I want to be just like you when I grow up." And he goes, "Besides the drugs part." And I was like, okay, that's awesome. You know, that he looks up to me and he sees something in me.
I loved being a teacher, but one of the probation officers, and I was sharing my story with them, Liz, I probably can't go back to teaching, you know, I've really kind of ruined things. And they said to me, "You will always be a teacher." And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I don't have to necessarily be in a classroom to be a teacher. So now I teach life skills. I teach how to be a productive member of society. I teach how to go back and recapture those lost dreams. At one point, I was going in through the back of the courthouse, sit in that little booth on the side. Now I can walk in and hold my head up and stand before the judge and represent other individuals, something like myself, and help them put the pieces of their life in order. Especially those individuals that feel hopeless, as I did at that time, and just be a beacon of hope for someone to say, listen, if I can do it, you can do it too.